That's the problem that the Nets have.
Yeah.
Is when you have two mercurial guys on the team,
Mm-hmm.
two guys that have weird personalities, you're not gonna go anywhere.
I mean, with Kyrie, it's totally different.
Those two guys, between the two of them, have arguably the most talent we've ever seen in the NBA. Period. We're talking about a guy who's 7 feet tall, who can shoot, who can do everything, right? We have a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", that has the greatest handle we've ever seen and is the best finisher at the rim for his size that we've ever seen, right?
But he likes to take a lot of PTO.
But what I'm saying is that just off talent alone, they're the greatest we've seen on the court.
If we're talking about on the court, KD's not the problem.
But because of their personalities, he is the problem on the court.
On the court, KD's not the problem.
He is, bro.
Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
On a Saturday, it's All Even with your boy Barry Grant. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at All Even Podcast. You can listen to the show on Megaphone as well as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I'm all over the place, man. And trust me, go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment because the page is growing. What's up, everybody? There's a lot of people down here today. Hi, Jazz. How you doing? Welcome. Yeah. Jimmy, the super intern. How you doing, man? Yeah, I don't even want to pan up because I know who's here. Surprise! Oh, Claw's here. How you doing, sir?
How are you? Big fan.
Yeah.
Not really a fan. I don't like him.
Oh, you don't like me?
No.
Supposed to be friends.
You know, you count my PTO. You make me feel uncomfortable behind the scenes. I think it's time for a change, bro.
Because you make it that way. See, when you have to drop the hammer down on, employees that don't want to come here and work,
Right.
like Kyrie Irving. This is why you got the name,
My name is Kyrie.
Yes.
I thought it was Claw.
It's Clary. that's the new one.
Right back at you.
And we have the Cole on the ones and twos, the silent assassin is what I call her. Also, shouts to the Grid Network. Please subscribe to the Grid Network. Like, share, and comment. Catch us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of that. Shouts out to all the creators there. Shout out to our lovely sponsor, MyBookie. Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome, sir. Welcome back.
We got my man Six in the building.
Thank you for having me back. It's always a pleasure.
Mr. Al showed up again. It's been like 8 weeks since you've been here, right?
I mean, I think you was waiting for something specific. But
I was. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was. I was waiting for the right time to have a conversation with you. I couldn't talk to you for about what, 8 weeks?
8 weeks?
Yeah. I can't talk to you.
I don't know what would happen during that time to make you not want to speak to me, but
yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it a little bit. But lots to get into, right? We got Thursday night football. We're going to talk about those Packers and those Titans.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of football stuff going on, man. Jeff Saturday gets a job.
Sundays with Saturday.
Right? We have OBJ suing Nike. That's a thing?
That's a thing.
It's interesting. Derek Carr. I ain't going to lie to you. Derek Carr, that situation.
I respect him.
Yeah.
Man cried.
Yeah, man cried.
Yeah.
When a man cries like that, there's 2 times you cry like that when you're a man, right? When your wife leaves you, and when you want to fight.
When you want to fight, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can't.
And you can't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What else? Got that UVA thing we're gonna talk about.
Tragic.
It's definitely tragic. NBA stuff, right? Ben Simmons.
Poor guy.
I saw
Is he?
KD on the roll call.
KD came out and said some stuff that was interesting, right?
Yeah.
Threw his teammates under the bus and then drove over them and then did it again. Got out the car, make sure he checked on them and then drove back over them.
Yeah.
So
forward and backwards.
Yeah.
First and last name.
Kyrie may be back.
We'll see.
Yeah.
He'll find something else to.
Come on, don't jinx the man like that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Kyrie gonna be back. He gotta be
back. He ain't
back
back yet.
He loves his PTO. I tell you.
I was just about to say we ain't even get to that part of the season where he started taking time
Facts.
off.
Legend.
Facts. We'll have a new segment where we'll have the contenders and pretenders of the NFL. We'll talk about that. Pick of the week. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
That's gonna be interesting. I feel like there's a lot of candidates.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot going on in the sports.
There's a lot. Before I get into any of that stuff, though, I just want to say R.I.P. Rumble Johnson. You know, he was a UFC cage fighter, had a great career. You know, I think he had a bout with some form of cancer, I believe. But, you know, he passed 38 years old.
That's scary.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
You know, it was just yesterday, like he was doing his thing. So it's like, you know, my condolences, prayers to his family. But it's tough. There's a lot of young people dying, man. A lot of young people dying for, like, you know, ailments that we didn't even think people our age was supposed to be getting.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean? So
It makes you think about a
you gotta
lot.
appreciate every day. And
yeah.
be thankful for what you have.
Nah, definitely. And then also too, definitely want to, you know, send the thoughts and prayers out to the young men that lost their lives at the University of Virginia. Just a tragic situation there. You know, I don't even know how they're gonna continue their football season.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
They canceled the next game and everything already.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you know, it's just due, right? I mean, I don't know how those kids are gonna be able to pick themselves up and
it's just happening too often at this point.
Yeah,
It's been happening too often, but it just like doesn't seem like there's an end in sight.
Nah. Just
And-
like, it's just unwarranted. You know, they don't even really have much details on it, so it's just, you know, it's tough. It's tough. So definitely didn't want to start the show like that, but you got to get it out the way. Obviously, you know, you got to pay the respects, because, you know, death is a part of our culture nowadays, man. Like I think we're getting numb to it.
Sadly, I think I'm starting
You know what I mean?
to get numb to the
Like
school
we're really
shootings.
getting numb to it, of all the people that we've lost, whether it's in our personal lives, whether it's celebrities, whether it's whatever. Like it should always be something that we talk about and we spend time on and just kind of pay your respects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's really upset when you really think about the details
Yeah.
that go on with that, because, like, from what I understand, the guy who did the shooting, there was about like maybe 2 incidents where school escalated. They were investigating him. There was already an investigation to him making a threat with guns and everything like that.
Right.
So like,
then there's also some hazing allegations as well. Like his father said that he had mentioned that he was getting picked on, and he didn't know how to handle it. And it's like, you know, until all the details come out, I mean, we probably will never know all the details, but it's tragic either way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people got to do better on all sides.
Yeah. It's not a pleasant situation, man.
So thoughts and praise to the family, and
Yeah.
you know, just appreciate every day a little bit more, because you never know.
Definitely. Never
Thoughts
know.
and prayers to the kids that were on that bus too,
Facts.
because that's
their lives.
that's a
Their lives
situation
will
they
change
never
forever
gonna
too. Right.
gonna forget.
Right. So, but yeah. So Thursday night football, we saw the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers. Tennessee wins the game 27-17. King Henry was all over the place.
All over the place.
Rushing touchdown. He had a passing touchdown. I think he had 83 yards rushing. Tannehill had a great game.
Yeah.
22 for 27. I think he had a passer rating of 127, QBR of 78. I mean, he was almost perfect. And that Titans defense is legit. But the one thing that I really respect about the Titans is the head coach. I think Mike Vrabel,
I love him. Bro.
arguably is
one of my favorites.
He's
right now.
top 5 in the NFL right
Easily.
now in regards
Easily.
to just knowing what his team needs, what they do well.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to execute the game plan well, and they always look prepared to play football.
Yep.
It's a lot of that goes a long way because my team doesn't have that. They don't look prepared. But Mike Vrabel and those Titans, they always look prepared, man. And the Green Bay Packers, I mean, they look like rock stars on Sunday.
Yeah.
And they end up coming right back to earth and being duds. So at 4, what are they, 4-7 now?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think their season is pretty much over.
Pretty much
because
over.
the schedule that they have coming up is brutal. And what were your takeaways from this game, fellas? Like, obviously we have two teams that are going in two different directions, right? We got the Titans that really can make claim that they're one of the best teams in the AFC.
8 covers in a row.
Right?
That's a lot.
And it might be their time to maybe punch that ticket to get to the Super Bowl. Who knows? They're a dark horse.
Yep.
Right?
One of my favorites.
So, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Jeff, on in regards to the Titans? We'll start with them first.
Definitely one of my favorites. They're going to be part of the segment a little later that we have contenders pretenders because I just feel like you said, Vrabel is making his way to be one of my favorite coaches. Situationally, he's great.
Yep.
He knows how to motivate his team. It's not a perfect team, but they're doing everything they're supposed to do to win. They don't have receivers, and they know it. So they keep it with the tight ends. They keep it to short plays. They don't overcomplicate things. And they trust their quarterback and running back, and they use them well. Ryan Tannehill and Mike Vrabel is a perfect example of what a good player can do when somebody actually believes in you.
Right.
Because I think a lot of these athletes are super athletes when they come into the league, but they end up going places that don't exploit their talents the best. And Mike Vrabel just shows you that a lot of these guys ain't just duds, and they ain't just corny, and they just ain't just sometimes you need a system behind you. And what Ryan Tannehill's been doing under Mike Vrabel's tutelage, I don't think it's Ryan Tannehill. I think it's Mike Vrabel. You got to give him his flowers.
Now the system makes Tannehill
look really well. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it matters.
And I think it's a situation where Vrabel is able to get the best out of his players,
right.
And he's able to sit there and situationally look at what he's facing each and every single week from each and every team that comes up to him and adjusting his game plan and taking the positives from his team and what his team can do best and applying it to whatever team that he's going to be facing.
Yeah, I'm going to take it a step further, fellas. I think we are looking at baby Belichick.
I didn't want to say it, but I felt it.
It feels that way, like how he prepares for football games. I'm not talking about him possibly having that type of success, but how he prepares, how he breaks down teams, and how every time you think the Titans are not going to play well, they shock you.
Yeah.
And they dominate. It's not just like they eke out wins. They dominate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's the formula that everybody thinks is a dead formula. Run the football. Power football. There's still space in the NFL for teams like the Tennessee Titans. And I don't understand why more teams don't use that game plan, use that style, use that gritty style of football, because it wins in the playoffs. It wins Super Bowls. It may not sell a lot of tickets, but it wins football games.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, running the football, stopping the run, I was hoping that on Thursday night, Green Bay would keep what they were doing with the Cowboys, which was running the football.
Oh, they're not going to do that.
I thought that they figured, okay, we don't have great receivers.
They only did that because of the Cowboys.
Running backs.
They only did that because of us.
Let's continue with that. And they opened up throwing the ball, and I was just like, nah, man, Tennessee's going to take this.
Yeah, because I think LaFleur had no respect for the Tennessee Titans. He was like, okay, we showed up on the Cowboys. They had one of the top defenses in the NFL. So if we can do that to them and control the game on the ground, we open it up a little bit in the second half in regards to passing, we can come out this game with the confidence, and I guess Chris Watson got it going now. So I think they kind of read the game plan wrong. Yeah. Doesn't shock me because LaFleur is... LaFleur. Yeah, he's LeChoke is what I like to call him. So, you know, it's just the Titans are legit. Yeah. They're legit. Yeah. But, you know, let's move to the other team that lost, the Green Bay Packers.
Like I said, I just feel like this is a lost team. I really felt like they had a light with the Cowboys. I felt like if they kept building on that formula, they can at least salvage their season. But to go right back and then, you know, throw it 30 times and then don't run it as much, it's like, all right, y'all ain't going to go nowhere. Yeah. Because that was a game that they could have actually won. But, I mean, they just got ran over by Tennessee. But they also didn't make the necessary adjustments to slow the game down and keep themselves in the game. Yeah. So if you're just going to make Aaron Rodgers throw it across the yard with these guys who aren't that great, might as well pack it. I mean, shit. By week 12, we might be looking to see Jordan Love. If it's a lost season, play him. Right. If it's a lost season, play him.
Yeah, sit Aaron and let the kid go. Let the kid take the beatings.
Yeah. Is this the last year of his rookie contract or next year the last year of his rookie contract?
Well, I think they got another option year.
They got another option year with him. Yeah. This would be his third year?
Yeah. Fourth year, I think. Because he was a first-round pick, right?
He was.
Yeah. This is his fourth year.
He got drafted when?
4 years ago.
Was it?
No, wasn't the first year he got drafted the first year Aaron Rodgers won MVP? Didn't he like win MVP in spite like them?
No, he had the down year. So this is his third year.
This is his third year.
This is his third year right now.
Yeah, it's his third year.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I agree, man. I think if they struggle, it's time to sit Aaron Rodgers, just, you know, fold the season. But the problem that the Green Bay Packers have, and this is the problem that they've had for decades, is that they're cheap.
They're quietly cheap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cheap teams in the league. Right. We don't talk about the Packers as being cheap, but they're
quietly cheap. They don't draft well. And when you have that type of combination, it's only so much that Aaron Rodgers can do. It's only so much that he can be able to save you from. When you have a bad roster, when you have bad pieces, you can't make bad pieces good. Can't. If there's no talent there, you can't pull talent from any, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no talent. They're void of talent on that team.
My bigger issue with them is when they do draft talent and develop talent.
They let them go.
They let him go.
Yeah.
Like, I watched 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐬. Is he going to get a second contract with them? Because he's killing.
No.
Like, they're probably going to ship him off.
Because the money that he's going to want, they don't want to pay him.
And it's nuts, man.
You know what I'm saying?
They still took a quarterback.
They took a quarterback because they did not believe that Aaron Rodgers was going to keep playing like this. They took a quarterback because LaFleur wanted him. LaFleur wanted Love.
Yeah.
Because whatever LaFleur saw, he was like, I think Aaron Rodgers is declining. No, he's not. The team is declining. The team has declined every season. We're not talking about record. We're just talking about skill
positions.
Skill position players. It's gotten worse every year.
It started with Eddie Lacy. When Eddie Lacy put on
Fat Boy Lacy?
Yeah, like 40 pounds in the offseason.
Lacy understood what it was. He's like, listen, man, they don't care about nothing over here.
Yeah, because after Greg Jennings was gone and Donald Driver and what's his face, great for Jordy, but Jordy had been there for 4 years.
Correct.
And then Devontae really popped in his 8th, 9th year.
And
like he was on the Packers for a while, bro.
Well, yeah, he didn't get big until like his
second contract,
like third year.
But that's what I'm saying. And then they develop him. He becomes a number one receiver.
Right. And now he's going. Now he's going. It's, I don't know, man. And then they're old. They're old with their skill positions. Like not Aaron Jones, obviously.
I love Randall Cobb, but damn.
Yeah, like he needs to be a coach at this point. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like put him on the staff. Like he get too many concussions. He hurt all the time. I don't want to see him go across the middle no more.
He might not come back.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so. If you were the GM of the Green Bay Packers, what do you do? Do you continue down this road of nothing? because it's not going to get any better. Or do you blow it up?
I'm blowing it up.
Yeah, just because if you didn't go after OBJ during the trading deadline,
Right.
I don't see blow it up is kind of hard because you do have Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson. They're in their first year. They're gonna get better. I just don't expect that much from them now. You do have the running back behind Aaron Jones. Like, he should be a great fill-in when Aaron Jones starts to decline.
You talking about AJ?
Yeah, AJ Dillon. So, like, blowing it up is kind of harsh. I do think maybe see what you can get for Rodgers. And then keep those core pieces. Because they're young enough that I think they can move on, but they're still going to take 2-3 years. But I don't know if Rodgers has 2-3 years. Like, Rodgers should go somewhere. Do the right thing by your quarterback.
Right.
Send him somewhere where he has a chance. And then you guys have a good enough core that I think y'all could restart.
I'm doing what Seattle did. I'm getting rid of the quarterback. I'm going to take as many picks as I can for him, and I'm blowing everything up.
Exactly.
Like like your best offensive piece right now is Aaron Jones. AJ Dillon is a good running back, but I don't think he's going to be the type of running back who could sustain everything by himself once Jones is gone. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, they're good wide receivers, but those aren't going to be your number ones. Like you don't have any pieces right now.
They're good depth guys.
Yes, but those aren't going to be the guys that are going to sit there and carry your wide receiving core because right now you'd be looking at a different situation. Like, get everything you can for Rodgers before his value goes down, and build from there.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time for them to split.
Where does Rodgers go though?
I think he can go anywhere.
Yeah, if I'm Green Bay, I don't care where he goes.
Because if y'all talking like that, I definitely see a situation where the Raiders don't have Derek Carr next year. And if we're trading for picks, I mean, I'll trade with the Raiders. I'll send Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders and get a couple of their picks.
And put Derek Carr on the Packers?
No, not necessarily. No, trade for picks. I think Derek Carr is going to get cut from the Raiders. I think he's going to be the
he just got his contract
sacrificial lamb for this season.
They can't cut him.
I think they're gonna. I think they move.
No, I think they can cut him. I think it's that's the cheapest move they can make right now.
I think they gave him a contract that shows that they don't truly believe it. I think they can get out from underneath it pretty quickly.
Okay. I think Rodgers goes North Cal. San Fran's still an open spot for him. That's where he wants to go.
That would be nice,
man.
But no, they can't, bro, because they gave away all those picks for Trey Lance.
For Lance, yeah.
So they kind of have to stick with him. That's gonna be bad. I'm sorry. I think they hit the reset button whenever they start Lance. Jimmy G isn't the greatest, but he's good
a winner.
For what
he's
they
consistent.
do.
He's a winner.
And I think starting Trey Lance, you're gonna have to hit the
I think starting
button.
Trey Lance was a mistake. Period. It was a mistake.
I mean, you really couldn't do anything but start Trey Lance, like with everything that you gave up for him.
Nah, I get you, but I think that there's still, for me, there's still that old school way of doing things. If you have something that's good, and the train is rolling, don't upset it.
Don't upset the train.
Let him sit there and wait, because his time is going to come regardless, whether it's through injury, whether it's through the quarterback that's in front of him, the incumbent is not going to, is struggling and not playing well or whatever it is. Contract time comes along. Your time is coming. So there's no need to rush quarterbacks anymore. Like, we're in this age that they just believe that, okay, you're the top pick, you have to be spearheaded right into the starting line. No.
But I don't necessarily think that's, like, I understand your point with that, but I don't think that's the point that happened with San Francisco, because I think San Francisco's team is built to win now. Like, their defense
that's exactly what happened, though.
Hold on,
That's exactly what happened with the 49ers, bro. Because if they're built to win now, why would they think that Trey Lance would be the one to take them over the top?
Because we done been to the NFC Championship with Jimmy G.
Got to a Super Bowl with Jimmy.
We've been to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, and we lost.
And you were 4 minutes away from winning a Super Bowl.
Also, do you think a rookie I just never seen a rookie really make that kind of noise in the playoffs. That for me, when I felt like they were starting Trey Lance, they were taking themselves out of the Super Bowl conversation.
You know what it was?
This team,
I think.
I don't know if a rookie's doing that.
I think
they felt they capped out with Jimmy G.
What they thought was they had Patrick Mahomes. because it's the same thing that the Chiefs happened with the Chiefs had Alex Smith. They sat Mahomes for that 1 year. His sophomore year, he comes in and he lights the league up, right? Yeah. So they thought that was going to be the situation. Oh, no. Patrick Mahomes played in the pro offense in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was a gunslinger, right? Made a lot of mistakes, but you saw the talent, right?
I mean,
Trey Lance played an unconventional offense in college. He had to learn how to line up behind center. It's different. He has a lot to learn still at the NFL level to be a quarterback. So for the San Francisco 49ers to make that decision in their mind, they must have saw great things in practice. That's great. But there's a different level once you're the starting quarterback in the NFL. And I think they pressed that button too early. They did. Because at the end of the day, look where they are now. They're right back with Jimmy G, and they're still winning football games. Why upset the apple cart? Just leave it alone.
And I feel you, and I agree with you. The only thing that I'm saying is that from once they made that choice, it wasn't nothing else they could do.
Nah, I get you. But it was a mistake.
Definitely.
It was a mistake. Coming up after the break, we're gonna talk about OBJ.
He gonna get his paper.
He gonna get his paper regardless.
He gonna get his paper
from a team and from Nike too.
Somebody
after the break.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Whoa, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, don't get the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this go something. All Even. Yo, you. Oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now you gonna have to shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump
All
in the
Even
camera?
podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even podcast, right? All
Yeah.
Even. That's your man.
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast.
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
G. What is it, G?
Oh.
I said about G.
He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. So we're talking about OBJ. He gonna get his money regardless. Whether it be from an NFL team, whether it be from Nike. OBJ is suing Nike, right? And here it says from CBS, I'll give Chris Bengal the credit. Free agent wide receiver OBJ has filed a lawsuit against Nike stemming from his final endorsement contract that he had signed with the apparel company. Beckham is alleging that the company owes him more than $20 million related to the endorsement deal. In 2017, Nike reported that Beckham had resigned with Nike after he exercised a clause. It was a 5-year deal, reportedly at least $29 million. So Beckham stated that in the suit that the contract was structured, it was impossible for him to trigger very valuable extensions of the deal. So I guess whatever language was in the contract, they made it impossible for him to be able to cash out on. Now, does he have a valid lawsuit, or is it one of those things where
I think you're missing a piece? So where the reason he's suing for the $20 million is that they put in the contract, if he got a better offer from someone else and they decided to keep him, they would have to match the offer.
Gotcha.
He had an offer for Adidas for, I believe, $54 million. Let Nike know. Nike's like, nah, we'd rather keep you. Let's re-sign you. But then they kind of made it funny, like funny languaging, that they just never paid him.
But then what's the languaging? Because we got to remember, OBJ ain't touched the field. So if you're endorsing my products and what the incentives are, what are those incentives?
So that's the first part of what he was saying. They made the incentives hard for him
impossible.
to hit. So instead, he's like, okay, you know what? I can't hit these incentives. Let me go with Adidas. Adidas is like, oh, welcome aboard. We'll give you $54 million. Nike's like, no, we got you. Come on, let's take care of you. Come back over here. But then give him the the rest of the money. So like now he's looking at the contract. He's having his lawyers look over the contract like, yo, did I do the right thing? And they're looking at the language. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. Nike does say here, if you have another offer from a sneaker company, they're going to match it. And they just never did.
Okay, so Nike gonna have to pay up.
They got to pay up.
Nike got to pay up.
It's one of those things where they hoping to fly under the radar and they got caught. That's really all it is. It's not even a debate, bro.
They gonna have to pay up.
They got to pay up. It's not even a debate. They tried to fly under the radar. Sometimes with these companies, you got to bang them.
Right.
They're not gonna give you the money. You gotta
I'm sure.
You gotta chase
I'm
after
sure. When the CEO got the report, right, dude went up the chain and said, "Sir, OBJ got us. Damn it!
All right.
Thought he's gonna be able to pocket that. I gotta get rid of this yacht now." That shit gone now, man. OBJ. Okay, so I was thinking that. Listen, sometimes you sign bad contracts, you just gotta eat that loss. But I think he has a fair he has a fair loss.
They just kept quiet in the corner and just hoping he didn't see it.
Right.
Because what I was thinking was it has something to do with the fact he ain't been on the field.
Yeah.
So if he's not on the field, he
Right.
can't endorse the product.
I
They
got you.
can't see him
Yep.
with the Nike cleats. They can't
might.
see him
Yeah,
with the
that
Nike
makes sense.
stuff.
That makes sense.
It's probably a dual thing, whether it was like, okay, you can't hit these incentives, so that's why he wants to leave.
Right.
But like,
Okay.
Probably gave him a new shoe and be like, all right, just
hang out, relax.
Like, give him the shoe and just make sure we keep this $20 million. Just don't. Nobody mentioned anything. Nobody mentioned anything about the $20 million. If I hear $20 million out of anybody's mouth, here,
Don't
fire.
even say the word
If I hear 20,
Don't even nothing. No tools.
I fixed the glitch.
Right. Fix the glitch. We didn't fire him. We just fixed the glitch.
You're not gonna pay him. I want my stapler.
Oh my God. Now, going to the football side of things, he's still a free agent. He was cleared, medically cleared. There's a lot of teams reportedly interested in signing OBJ. Where do you see OBJ landing? I'll ask Claw first.
I say the Chiefs.
Claw says the Chiefs, and why?
In their space, they need a savior over there.
I mean, Juju's playing pretty good.
It's Juju though.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We need some needing fresh legs. Somebody that's gonna be a playmaker.
What do you think, Al?
Why do you say that?
where do I think? You poor Juju, man. Like, I disrespect my man Juju.
Everywhere he goes.
All Juju want to do is have fun. Like, real talk, had he left Pittsburgh a year earlier and took that Chiefs deal a year earlier.
Let's keep it on it. Let's keep it on it. The reason why we come at Juju is because he thought he was the man when AB was telling us, listen, you know what? Sometimes we look at AB and he crazy, right? Sometimes we say that he a madman. I ain't gonna lie to you. AB was spot on. AB was spot on
AB
here.
always spot on.
AB was like, listen, you think that he tough? I was getting triple teams. He's getting single coverage. Of course he gonna get those numbers. And I still put up numbers.
AB and Juju is two different animals. AB, way better than Juju.
But how Juju was acting,
Yeah.
he was acting like he was the real number one.
Juju became the one.
Right.
He
Started
became the
TikToking
none.
in the middle
Facts.
of the field.
Exactly.
But then Big Ben wasn't Big Ben at
He
that
get
time.
one of these. He get one of these. You know that. Come on.
But Big Ben wasn't Big Ben at that time too. You got to also add that into the equation. Juju was doing all right before he got concussed.
What has he done since?
The last couple of games with the Chiefs, he's been all right.
Because he got Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
It took him a while to get
I
off
like
the ground.
Juju. We're gonna leave it at I like Juju.
We're not
Okay,
gonna
so
do
you
that.
defend
That's
him.
fine.
I like
That's
Juju.
fine.
I like
So
Juju.
We gotta know where he's at in the pecking order.
Juju, my
Exactly.
friend.
He about fourth on the
Yeah,
Juju, my
he's
friend.
okay. He's cool, but
Yeah.
I mean, he was
I ain't
flying
taking
too
it.
high a little
I ain't
bit.
taking his ass in fantasy. I'll tell you that much. He gonna cost me some money.
I didn't, but-
Gonna cost me some money. But who do you think? Where do you think OBJ lands? Al?
I don't know where he lands, but I do know where I think he should land.
Okay.
And that's with Tennessee.
Okay.
I think Tennessee's game is built on the run.
I like that one.
I don't think he's going to necessarily be asked to be the man because King Henry's still going to be the man of that
Boss.
team. But I think he'll give them something that they don't have, and he'll be able to sit there and give them that extra oomph because they're already leading their division.
Yes.
And are they top of the AFC right now or no?
No, I think that they're.
No, they're second or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think he gives them what they need to be true contenders for that Super Bowl. And OBJ to Tennessee, it just makes the most sense to me. I just don't know if that's necessarily what's going to happen.
What about you, Six?
No, I like the Tennessee one. Y'all are giving contenders, and I feel like OBJ should go to a contender. But if he wants to make money, either the Jaguars or the Bears, baby, because those teams need help.
Yeah.
Hold
The Jaguars need a number one.
Why would you send him to football purgatory and send him to Chicago? There's a quarterback over there can't get
He
him
got a ring already. He needs to make his break. He never really got his NFL paycheck. He never truly
He got paid by the Giants for a year, and then they traded his ass. he got his money on the face.
So I mean, no, I like Tennessee. I like the Chiefs. I really don't know what's going on because there doesn't seem to be too much traction.
Right.
But those are great contenders.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, if he wants money, Jaguars or the Bears.
Okay.
I think that's the only team that's going to really pony up for a guy like OBJ.
I'm with you. I thought about that because we were talking about this, off camera. And the two places that I think is best for him, obviously, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I believe that he should be a Cowboy. he just looks like a Cowboy. He does.
And then with the money thing, he can get the minimum or something small, and then make his money off the field.
Exactly. We have the money to pay him. We can be able to give him $8 to $10 million. He can sign a 2-year deal or $16 to $20 million. You know what I mean? He can get that, repair his image, and possibly get another bag from us.
Yeah.
'Cause you know how Jerry is. But so Cowboys are one. But the other team that I was thinking about, and I had said Tampa, but I think you guys have convinced me otherwise about Tampa. I think Baltimore.
That was one of the ones I was thinking of.
I think Baltimore would be a great place for him to go because, again, it's kind of like Tennessee. They're run heavy. They don't have a real number one, but they have a tight end that gets a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. So when you got a guy like OBJ, and also, too, they signed Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson is a guy that can take the cover off the ball. So when you got guys like that can be able to stretch the defense in the middle of that field is going to be left open, OBJ can do a lot of damage.
He can do a lot of
I
damage.
love Deshaun Jackson. Like, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
I love Deshaun Jackson. Always have. Deshaun Jackson got to be able to stay on the field.
Nah, you're
to
right.
stretch that field.
But what I'm saying is that it just the threat of
Just
him.
the threat of him.
Is going to be able to.
He already out with a hamstring, man. Like, come on, man.
What you want to do? He old. Okay?
He's on the team, but he ain't on the team no more, man.
Harbaugh should know. Just don't even let him practice. Just let him sit.
Yeah, he should get the Julio treatment. Let him sit all week.
Let him sit all week, and then when Sunday comes, you call him and he drives to the arena. That's
But
it.
he got to make it to the end of the game, man.
All you need him for is 3 plays. You get 1 bomb.
That's it.
That's it.
And the guys will be scared the rest of the game.
He done for the rest of the game. He get 1 catch, 78 yards. He good. He good. So I think OBJ would fit well there in Baltimore, and I think he would fit well in Dallas. Yeah, I do. I just, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But shouts to OBJ for being able to be in this position to pick and choose where you want to go.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because he showed that he still had the juice, right? We were hearing for years of how people were dogging him and saying that he didn't have enough, and people were siding with Baker and saying that it was OBJ that was holding Baker back.
Crazy.
Poor Baker.
No.
But
No, it wasn't. For all of those people.
For real, bro.
So OBJ. I think we're gonna get an answer.
We should get one soon. Somebody's gonna
Probably after Thanksgiving.
If people are still banging down Antonio Brown's door after all those incidents, there's no reason
I'll
OBJ
sign
should
AB
go
right
to
now.
and to
I
think,
call him
man,
right now.
And to think, OBJ started with a catch against the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where it started. So why not finish with Das Cowboys?
Full circle.
Else. They got rid of Coop. They got that $20 million shaken up.
Don't throw shots.
They only signed like 2 other people. They got the money.
Don't throw
I'm
shots.
saying they have the money. Like they can
we
actually afford it.
We always have the money. We just don't spend it. It's a problem. Cowboys. All right, moving on. I don't want to talk about Dallas anymore. I find this next topic funny. I want to say that when somebody likes you, whether it be in business or anything, it doesn't matter what skills you have. It doesn't matter what background you have. in that particular field, somebody likes you and they're in a position of power, they're going to be able to give you that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't matter what it looks like. They don't really care, right? And what is that called when family gives other
Nepotism.
Nepotism, right? And what we're seeing with the Indianapolis Colts at this point is nepotism at its highest level.
The good old boys club.
The good old boys club. There's so many coaches that deserve chances and deserve looks. And you go all the way and you hire Jeff fucking Saturday.
ESPN analyst.
An analyst. To be a head coach. He's never coached Pee-wee. And now he's coaching an NFL team. Now, granted,
He coached high school. He coached high
I'm
school.
about to say that. He coached his girls' high school football team.
okay, all right, that's fair.
He coached his baby
That's fine.
little girl.
That's fine. Granted, the man got to win. Man, they get a win. But just looking at him, he don't look the part. And you know, they always say, you know, the white executives always try to say that you got to look the part, right? You got to look the part of a head coach. He don't look the part of a head coach. He don't talk like a head coach. And is this something that can be investigated? Where you can just be able to just hire somebody off the street? There's no protocol. There's no process.
For interim coach, there isn't.
There's no
For interim coach, you can skip. There's no.
You can skip the process.
You can skip the process for interim coach. Now, if they decide to keep him, I don't know how it works. If you want to make the interim the head coach,
Right.
But if they have to look for another coach next year, that's when they would have to do the Rooney Rule.
Because I don't even think that he's looking to be a coach next season.
He found out
everything
what we found
right.
out.
Everything right. But everything you hear him how he speaks, he's just coaching for the end of the season, just to give them a bridge to be able to find who they want. Now, granted, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not coming at Saturday. I'm coming at the process. Right? It just looks bad.
Bad.
You know what I mean? For an organization that, listen, Mr. Polian, what's his name? Irsay?
Yeah.
Irsay's that
Jim
is
Irsay,
the
yeah.
owner. He just comes off as this is bad. It's a bad look, man.
Horrible. And
I don't
Saturday
necess-
knows it too because,
Right.
like you said, he's not trying to stay.
He's not trying to stay.
He knows the coaches on his staff are
Right.
feel disrespected. He knows the players are looking at like, what the hell's going
Right.
on. He was a lineman. He played with enough black players to understand the temperature, and I feel like he's cool enough with the coaches to kind of understand what's going on.
Right.
So like he's like you said, he's not even trying to stay.
Nah.
He's letting you know I'm just gonna finish up the season.
Every time he told you, listen, I'm only here for 8 games.
He's letting us know I got you.
He said, look, he may give you a countdown every time they play. I'm gonna hit 7 games. I'm like 6 games, 5 games. I'm only here 3 games.
So he understands. He understands the
Go ahead and
temperature.
revisit
He
it.
understands what's going on. So if he knows what's going on, Irsay and whoever, they got to know what's going on. Bro.
This organization, they're in shambles.
They're in
man.
shambles.
I know a lot of people went to the whole black coach thing when Jeff Saturday got hired.
Right.
There's a lot of white men pissed off.
Yeah.
That didn't get that
More
job
whites than the blacks, trust me.
I ain't gonna lie. I did the black coach thing for half a day. I was talking to him, but like I'm happy they didn't pick a black coach because like this is just
He'd have been a scapegoat.
He'd have been a scapegoat.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. That's my number one right there.
That's the type of jobs we get.
All the time. We get we need to rebuild.
Right.
We need somebody to sit here and
Look
keep
at
this
poor
team
Steve
on.
Wilkes, right? Look at poor Steve Wilkes in Carolina. This is the second coaching job. It's another bad shit job, right?
And
they're gonna move on again.
They're gonna move on from him.
Yeah.
But with Jeff Saturday, for what, like, I don't necessarily know Jeff Saturday or people who know Jeff Saturday, but everything that I've heard from things that I've listened to, Jeff Saturday is one of those people who, great mode, like the hard parts about coaching, he got down. He's a good motivator.
He's a people person.
He's a people person. He knows how to motivate the people. He knows how to get people to be able to move behind him. Now, as far as play calling, figuring out how to do certain things, he got the assistants for that. And
Well, we're not banging on Saturday. We're banging on the process.
It's a process.
Because he might be a great coach.
Exactly.
He's a great
With time.
personality with time.
Yeah.
It's really about delegation. You get a good crew and you know how to run things. You couldn't be good. It's the process.
Right. Like, think about it. If they would have hired Saturday as a line coach or a consult, like, we'd be like, okay, that's good. But for you to get into the chair.
It's also Jim Irsay. And I think
that's what I'm saying.
I think Jim Irsay wants to sit there and make the contrarian move to sit there and say, oh, this is what you expect? No, this is what I'm going to do. And look at me win. If Jeff Saturday is successful, Jim Irsay is going to, he's going to puff his chest out.
He's the Mad King. That's what he is.
Yeah, real talk.
You gotta understand, Jeff Saturday got the text really around the time we did. Like, he didn't interview for the job.
He was probably at home and saw breaking news.
It's not like he had interviews and they finally called him back.
Like, it's like, hey, Jeff, like, yo, you're coaching for me on Sunday. That's how he found out.
Almost how he found out, bro. That's nuts.
Y'all think he got a text or you got a DM? Which
I think he got the text. He said, yo, Jeff, meet me in Indianapolis on Sunday.
Yo, pull up to the stadium on Sunday. All right, cool. Yeah, you the coach. What? It's good. We ain't got no coach here. You got coaching.
Surprise.
Right.
But I think
crazy.
That's nuts. Bro.
I think it's nuts that he got the job, and I think it's gonna be really interesting to see. Like, I'm really interested in seeing how this plays out.
No matter how good he does, I don't think people are gonna hate on Jeff. I think it's the process that people are mad at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've heard 𝐥𝐤𝐤 talk about it. No, nobody has banged on Jeff Saturday.
Yeah,
it's about who's in charge, who gave him this opportunity, and how it looks across the league wide.
Black and white. You can't even make this a black.
Yeah, because like I said,
there's a lot of 𝐥𝐤𝐤 was on the coaching staff
right
at the time. Like, my God, bro. Like,
all I'm saying is there's a lot of work, because a black coach never gonna get this opportunity ever to be picked.
Never.
To be picked, like, y'all really got to think about it. To be taken as an interim head coach from outside the organization, it will never in a million years happen for a black coach.
That's nuts, bro.
But when you think about it, it's nuts for it to happen. So it's almost like it'll never happen in a million years for a white coach. So there's like a list of white guys looking at this like, hold on, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, we did see this in basketball, right? Steve Nash, right? So it has merit.
I'm gonna get on KD later.
Of course.
But,
facts.
But yeah, listen, I got no problem with Jeff Saturday, but I got a big problem with Jim Irsay. I do. I do. And
I mean, I love Jim Irsay's level of fuck it though. Like, I gotta appreciate that. Man.
That was kind of a crazy situation, but
like you really gotta appreciate the level of fuck it that man has in his system.
He's something else, man.
He's getting old, but you know what it is? He's getting old because his father used to run the team in a way that was very hands-on, and Jim Irsay felt like that's why the Colts were bad for so long.
Right.
So when he came into power, he actually wanted to be hands-off, and they had a lot of success. But these past few years, he's been very hands-on, and things are not going well.
Right.
I mean, like, there was really no reason to fire Frank Reich. The list of quarterbacks that
it looked real bad for Frank Reich that just Saturday came in and won that first game. Think about it.
They fired the coordinators, and then they fired Frank Reich.
Yeah.
Like, just let him finish the season.
I don't think it looks bad for Frank Reich. I think he made. I think he did well with what.
Don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised
if he goes back to the Eagles.
Yeah,
I can see him going back to the Eagles.
I think the more Jeff Saturday win, the worse it's gonna look for Frank.
Nah, Frank had a winning record with bad quarterbacks. He just
I understand the record. It's the perception, though.
They have done a poor job putting the right person behind center on that team. Frank Reich is a quarterback whisperer.
He asked for Carson. But he asked for Carson, then they gave him Carson.
But Carson didn't play too bad.
Remember, it was more of the vaccine thing that got him off
the team. They were a winning football team last year.
Out the league, got him off the team. Like,
they were a winning football team last year.
It meant a lot for a lot of owners, bro.
They were a winning football team behind Jonathan Taylor.
That's fine, but Carson Wentz
did y'all see that last game that Carson Wentz played?
Was bad.
He was horrible, man.
Yeah, but we're talking about the totality of the season. He wasn't horrible.
He was not good, bro. I don't know what y'all was
average.
watching. He was average.
He was average.
Average for who?
If they would have went to the playoffs, if they won that,
that's what I'm saying. They would have won and they would have gotten the playoffs. So it couldn't be that bad.
Yeah,
couldn't be that bad. But yeah, moving on.
Please, from Carson.
I feel bad for Derek Carr, y'all.
Yeah, man.
I have never seen a man cry like that.
Not an NFL player.
Not an NFL player.
He
Like
usually cry after
normally,
T.O.
yeah, right.
That's my quarterback.
Teammate, quarterback, he's doing some fair.
He was trying to keep that job because he knew he was wrong.
Lost the team.
He knew he was wrong. He was trying to keep his job.
But there's only 2 times that a man will cry like that, in my opinion. It's when his woman leaves him, right? Divorced, right? I know Tom Brady cried like that in Carr. He had to cry like that in Carr when Giselle left him. And when you're so mad, and you want to fight, and you know you can't.
But you can't.
Yeah.
That's when
And
the tears
that pain
come.
comes out in tears. That's what I saw from Derek Carr. It wasn't like, his soul was crushed. He was so mad that he can't curse out his owner. He can't curse out whoever he wants to curse out. And the pain just got too much for him. He's that mad. This organization is a dumpster fire. And it's been that way for decades. They have been bad since the Tuck rule. Since the Tuck game.
Yeah.
I don't know. The coach is bad. I really blame Josh.
Doesn't matter what coach you put in there.
No,
they have been bad since the Tuck game, bro.
They don't get the Browns.
Who was the interim coach that they had last year?
The reporting and the Jets reporting, but
Yeah.
they have been bad for just as long.
Bro, they have that same stink.
Yeah.
Who was that interim coach that they had last year after they got rid of Justin?
Versace.
So
And
he got them
should've
to
got
the
the job.
playoffs.
Yeah.
He got them to the playoffs. Like, to be honest with you, Josh is a bad coach.
We all know that, though.
So I really don't
but
think
that has to do with who?
Yeah.
Mark
the
Davis.
ownership.
They hired him.
Yeah.
They hired him.
Yeah. It's
They
the
hired him.
organization.
Chloe, what do you
Dummy.
think?
Same thing.
Yo, it's bad, man. Like, this is a loyal fan base.
Very.
Yeah.
They love the Raiders. And that fan base deserves better. Derek Carr deserves better.
Yep.
He's not a bad quarterback. He's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL. What he did, what him and Rich Bisaccia did with that team last season, when they were struggling, they had all the turmoil. They made the playoffs last year.
That's dope, bro.
They were 6-7 and won their last 4 games, then got into the playoffs.
Lost their wide receiver.
And lost in a
their
tough
coach.
game in the wild card round.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
They
saying?
fought in that one,
They
too.
fought in that game. So from them to go from that, then I remember when they hired Josh McDaniel. I said, it's over for them. It's over for them. I've never seen a head coach get more chances to fail than Josh McDaniels. I've never seen a head coach be able to turn down several jobs and still be the top candidate for jobs. What has he done? What has he done to make you believe that he can do this at this level? He failed with the Broncos. He didn't want the coach job because he knew he would
Skipped
fail
out on
there.
him after saying
Right.
yes and accepting
After
the
saying
contract.
yes,
That's
and
a
went
car-
back
that's
to he went
crazy.
back to New England and still got a
Never
job.
Another opportunity after
That's what I'm
that.
saying. What black coach you know can turn down a job and still be here?
None.
None.
So
I want to know what people see in Josh McDaniels to give him this opportunity. He's not a great communicator. He never was. He was a terrible communicator when he was in Denver. He didn't learn anything.
You got certain people who are really, really good coordinators, and they can't
He's
translate.
a great coordinator.
You can't translate it into being
Just
a
like
head
Todd
coach.
Bowles.
Yeah. Todd Bowles, one of the best defensive coordinators
Facts.
that I've seen in my time
Horrible
of
head
really
coach.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Horrible head coach.
Horrible head coach.
Josh McDaniels. Like, you want to know the craziest thing about the one thing that really bothered me the most about this whole Raiders offense? Everything that he did as an OC, he made Amendola, Julian Edelman, what was the other? Wes Welker. Slot machines.
Right.
Like, built everything from the inside out. Tight ends from the inside out. You got Darren Waller and
can't
Hunter
utilize
Renfro. Can't do nothing with them.
Josh Jacobs can catch out the
And you
backfield.
have number 17 on the outside.
Yeah, you got number 17 on the outside. The last time he had something like
Max
that was
Crosby
the
killing it a lot. Like
Like you said,
Yo.
Josh Jacobs having a bounce back year.
Like, yeah, it's
Like, you
weird,
got
bro.
all of these pieces.
Dumpster fire, dude.
Dumpster fire.
All of these pieces, and you can't do nothing.
Dumpster fire, dude. So, Derek Carr needs to go. Like, I don't even want to spend too much time on this shit because
I want to see him on the Jets.
he
next
just,
year.
yeah. I'd love that.
I think there's a pathway going to that.
I agree.
I think depending on what the Jets do in the playoffs, I think they may go away from Wilson and really
I
if
think
he's
they need
available. Really, I don't know if they're just gonna go away from Wilson, but if Carr is available, I can see the Jets trying to pick him up.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he can do something with them.
I agree. I think it's time for them to cut bait. If they don't want to cut bait with him, he needs to cut bait with them. Mm-hmm. Because I feel bad for the guy. But after the break, we're gonna do some contender pretender.
All right, I already brought up.
Yeah, I like
you already
that.
know where I'm leaning, so
Let's see what 𝐤𝐤 got because he's very interesting with these things.
Yo, this is 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿 and 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐤. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for All Even Podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
Welcome back, y'all. So, new segment. Contenders and pretenders.
we need
I
a theme
want-
song for that.
I
Sounds hard.
do.
That sounds hard.
Yeah,
we need
yeah,
a theme
yeah.
song for that.
I need something. Somebody gotta make me a beat. So anybody out there that want to do that, send that in, man. Yeah, I need to know 4 contenders and 4 pretenders. 𝐤𝐤, who you got?
4 contenders. I'm gonna go Jets. I'm gonna go Vikings. I'm gonna go. I hate to say it. I go Giants.
Contenders. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I respect that. And then I'm gonna go Seahawks.
Okay.
Okay. I was thinking that. Very nice.
Pretenders.
Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go
I'm with you on that.
Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that has Cliff Kingsbury is always going to be a pretender.
I'm gonna go Eagles.
What?
I'm gonna go Eagles.
I was going to fight you.
The disrespect, man.
Shit is sad, bro. And last but not least, I'm probably going to go Rams.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, they out of here, bro.
Yeah, I don't even know if they in the conversation.
they not even thinking about it.
Yeah,
They not even thinking
They
about it.
always think that there's gonna be something left. That shit is on E, bro.
Who you got, 6?
I definitely like the Jets. I love that pick by him. I think that's a great, young, solid team. I think they have a lot of depth everywhere. Not 100% sold on the coach-quarterback combination, but if you're going to get rid of one, I think if you get rid of the quarterback, I definitely want to see what that coach has
Although
to do.
Daniel Jones is playing very well. Oh, you talking about
Jets,
Zach
yeah,
Wilson?
the
Yeah,
Jets.
Zach Wilson. Yeah, I agree with you. I think they are going to have to make a decision very quickly with that kid because I said it coming out of the draft. He looked like a kid that was scared and is not prepared. And I remember at BYU, they played Coastal Carolina. And that was the most competitive game that they played that year. And he looked bad. And in my head, I'm like, okay, you play one good team and they shake you up. What do you think the NFL is going to be?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm not impressed by him at all. But there's still time for him. But, yeah, go ahead. I don't want to.
That's fine. The team we talked about earlier, Tennessee Titans,
Yes.
8 in a row games where
Solid.
not just necessarily covered, they look good,
Yes.
played well, coached. They're
Know
not
how to
making
play.
so much noise where they're getting all this attention where they kind of gets the team distracted.
Right.
They're a little bit flying under the radar, and I definitely like teams like that. So I'm definitely going to say the Titans are definitely contenders. I love the 49ers, and I have to throw them out because they have a 5-5 record. They're only 500.
Right.
But I feel like they're a team who can go against anybody. And when those playoff lights go on, I feel like this year more than any other year, they're really, really, really going to be ready. Jimmy
have the
G's
pieces.
been to the Super Bowl, so I don't know. Hopefully, he doesn't make that one bad pass type thing. I think CMC is ready to make some noise in this league again. Debo, they kind of put him on ice, and I think they're waiting for the end of the season.
I think
to
that's
break
smart.
him out. That's very, very
Yeah.
smart. So I think they have a lot of depth, a lot of places. So at 5-5, I'm definitely going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. And my last contender, again, not necessarily flying under the radar. They had a weird start to the season. You could have thought that they had a Super Bowl hangover, but I feel like the Bengals have really come back in the last few weeks.
Okay.
Put a couple games together. I think they're playing well as a team, offensively, defensively, and because they had that like lull in the beginning. Again, people not talking them. Sometimes when people talk about you too much, it's a curse.
Of course.
It's a curse.
Sometimes where you can fly under the radar and just do what you got to do, fix the things that you need to fix, and be ready for playoffs. That's what you need.
That's what you need. And that's why I got to switch my set and then put the Eagles as pretenders. Because I think they're good enough to win a couple more. Have a great season, 12-4, 11-3, whatever it is. But then I feel like they'll get that first week bye in the playoffs and run into the 49ers and get dog walked.
Right.
That's just how I feel. So I don't want to call them pretenders. I feel like that's a bridge too far for an 8-1 team. But I don't think they're going to go as far as people think they're going to go this year.
You know, the last time you spoke like that about my Eagles, I was at your house and they were winning the Super Bowl.
I recall telling you in the beginning of the season that your Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
Hey.
You told me to shut up and not to bring it up.
I told you don't put no bad juju on me. But I remember you sitting there telling me, Tom Brady.
Yo,
I'm not even going to go back to that.
Let the man finish his list, man. Don't get personal, man.
No, I'm just saying. I heard all kind of disrespect.
Pretenders, I got to go with the Browns. I think they started the season off pretty well. I thought they were going to be able to keep things afloat until Deshaun Watson came. And sometimes they still look pretty good, but the way they've ended these games, and what are they, 3-6? The way they've had some of these losses, man.
And they're not using Kareem Hunt at all.
At all, bro. And they have pieces on the team, so they really should be contenders with or without Watson. But the way they've been playing, I'm gonna just have to say they're pretenders. This one hurts my own heart. Patriots, boy. Oh man. How
dare you?
I love the Pats, bro, but what's going on? We don't have a quarterback.
Hey.
We don't have a viable offense.
Leave Mac Daddy Jones alone.
I love that Bill can still scheme up a defense and do something, but after watching the Chicago Bears run all over us, I've lost hope for this season.
Listen, if they had Josh McDaniels, Mac Daddy would be all right. You know, they need a coordinator. They do.
And my very last one, the Giants. I think they're playing well, and I think I see so many good things from the Giants.
Just not ready yet.
The only reason I say pretenders, not only are they not ready yet, this is the year for them to do it.
You're right.
Saquon may not get that second contract. Daniel Jones may not get that extension.
Right.
I don't know what the hell's going on with the receivers. This might be the year, like they had the last year that they have all these pieces intact. And I just don't see it happening for them. So even though they're 7-3, I'm going to have to call them pretenders.
Okay, that's fair. What about you, Al?
You know what I'm going to say.
Go ahead, man.
It's your people.
You a front runner. You a Eagles fan. Go ahead, put them there. We already know they going there.
Eagles. We just going to start it out right there. Eagles. Right. Contenders.
Okay.
Eagles. No explanation needed. We've already done it. I know our run defense been looking a little bit shaky, but we just signed Sue. You know what I mean? Jordan going to be coming back soon.
Got Linval Joseph.
Yeah, we're going to sit there, shore up the little bit of that, and then, boom, Eagles.
Right.
You know, I'm surprised nobody said Buffalo. I know they haven't looked good for like the past 2 weeks, but
I think that,
I think we want to do deep dives. No,
you can. Buffalo's fine.
Like I mean, we could do deep dives all you want, but at the end of the day, it's just like I'm not gonna put the Chiefs out there because, like you said, like obvious things are obvious things, but it's really gonna be difficult to be able to walk past them. Like
I agree.
You know what I mean? You can't sit there and say nothing about that. So. Cincinnati was another one I was going to pull out for all the reasons that you sit there and say, and then Tennessee. I mean, and as far as pretenders, the Giants, the Chargers.
Okay.
Facts, they be flying on the radar. They had a lot of talk about taking that next step, being better than the Chiefs, being better than Mahomes.
Brandon Staley holds them back.
Did not happen for them.
And I mean, their roster, their roster is good.
Injury pretty early, so we'll see.
But Brandon Staley's an idiot. So I mean,
they don't have that threat. Like they got a bunch of guys that just get the ball thrown to them and they're a celebrity for the week.
Yeah.
The main star on the team is still Justin Herbert. Like hands
and
down.
they're not durable. And when
That's
you need them,
really
that's
what
the
it is.
problem. You know.
I like Geno, but I think Seattle's pretenders.
Good story, but yeah, I can see that.
Like
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna go past what it is. You know what I mean? And then outside of that, I mean Dallas.
You think they're pretenders though?
Dallas?
I think they're like right in the middle.
Nah.
You think they're pretenders?
Yeah.
I feel like that defense is a Super Bowl caliber defense.
Really?
Yeah. I agree.
Even with the running issues, I don't know if all teams can run on them. I think the Packers were able to listen when you go on a 5-game losing streak. Like sometimes something in you just kicks up. I don't know if every team is doing that.
And mind you, Aaron Rodgers owns us.
Yeah, so
you know
I like Mike's. I like the Bucks.
Yeah.
I do like them as pretenders because I mean they're rounding into form, but like I just don't see it for this team, bro.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's gonna be real funny if Tom Brady goes into the playoffs and has to go against like fucking Geno Smith and shit. Like it's gonna be pretty interesting. But I like Mike's pick for pretenders, the Bucks.
Yeah. So who do I have? Contenders. Listen, I'm not gonna hate. I will put.
You gotta say it now.
Say it.
You gotta say it, bro.
Hey, take your glasses off and say it.
You gotta look into the camera for that.
Look me in my eyes. Say it.
I will say the Eagles are contenders. I think at this point I've seen a lot of good things out of this team. Will they win a Super Bowl? I'm not gonna go that far, but I think that they're gonna be in the mix for that. I think contender-wise, Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens were my dark horse Super Bowl team, and I think they have a chance. I think that if they can be able to get healthy at the right time, if Lamar can kind of work out some of the kinks that he's had this season, I think they can be able to make a run. Now, obviously, matchups make a ton of difference in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on who they matched up with, but I think they got a shot. I like the Tennessee Titans. I do. I think the Titans, they just look the part.
They look the part.
They look the part of a confident team. They understand what they're doing. They know what their weaknesses are. They know what their strengths are. And that's a team that is going to be a very tough out.
Yeah, that's what I was.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. They never beat themselves. You know what I mean? So that's a mark of a great team. Last contender for me. I would have to say I'm going Jets. I'm
surprised.
I'm going Jets.
I thought you were going to go Vikings.
Nah, I'm going Jets.
Finally have Curtis Flowers.
I'm going Jets. I think what I've seen out of Robert Saleh in this team, I think, given again, if they get the right matchups, they could possibly win a game or two in the playoffs. They can. They're good enough to do that, man. They fly around on defense.
Your sources.
Yeah,
Sauce
Sauce
Gardner
is
is a monster. Garrett Wilson is special. Like, you know, I remember I was telling Claw out of the gate at the draft, I said, you remember Santonio Holmes? He has better hands than Holmes. And he's proven that. Yeah. You know, he's going to be a legit number one on that team. The running game, I think Michael Carter has done a good job stepping in. Obviously, Breece Hall got hurt. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think they'd be a way better team if Breece Hall still stayed healthy. Can they get anything out of James Robinson? I don't know. But we'll see. If they can, that can still be a nice 1-2 punch because Robinson, he's a good running back. He's all right. You know what I'm saying? Can he get up to speed? We'll see. But Zach Wilson, man, it's for me, if the Jets are smart, they turn the keys over to Mike White.
They should have given him a chance a couple weeks.
Turn the keys over to Mike White and give him because Mike White he won some games for them last year and played well. So I don't understand why you wouldn't want to give him a shot after seeing how bad Zach Wilson looks.
I mean, you can't go back to White right now after Wilson won that game.
Nah, I get you.
Buffalo.
I get
now,
you.
but a couple weeks ago.
Couple of weeks ago, yeah, but now
You ran the Flacco train. You should have been running the Mike White train.
Real.
You know what I mean?
You brought back some bad memories with Santonio Holmes, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Santonio Holmes, Sean Green, and fucking Mark Sanchez going into Foxborough and beating the 14-2.
Yeah, baby. That's when I was a Jets fan.
That's when I was a Jets fan.
Back when they beat the Colts,
now,
bro.
my pretenders list is really good. First one on my pretenders list are those Vikings. Those Vikings are on my pretenders list. You know why? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the one that's going to stop this team from getting anywhere. Kirk Cousins, he will get you to the playoffs. You ain't getting nowhere after that.
Lights is too bright.
Unless that game at noon.
Right?
Give him the 1 o'clock playoff games. He be
Pretender. The Giants.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nicole. The Giants are pretenders because, like you said, and I agree with you, it's early. They're overachieving right now. Brian Dable's a hell of a coach, and he's done wonders for small hands Daniel Jones. But they're just not there yet. You know what I mean? But they have the nucleus, they have the pieces. If they can be able to get, I think *𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐤 gets cut in the offseason. And
he needs to be cut yesterday. I don't get it, bro. Yeah, they got to pay him anyway. Might as well keep him, but like, nah.
So, but they're close.
Man.
Might as well cut him, bro.
The next pretender I will have is I'm going Bengals.
Really?
I think the Bengals, they are. If it ain't Jamar Chase or Burrow to Chase, it just, to me, they struggle. You know, I know Burrow's good. I understand, but the line still doesn't impress me
at all.
Joe Mixon, they're wasting Joe Mixon right now, and I just don't think that they have that same juice that they had last year. And the last pretender is the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are my biggest pretenders. Seriously. Because the thing is with me, the reason why it's a lot, right? You have an owner GM that doesn't want to improve the team to be able to have them maximize the ability that they have. So you have a struggling wide receiver core. You have a quarterback that puts you in bad positions. And you have an offensive coordinator and a head coach that puts you in bad positions. You have a defense that is undisciplined a lot. We lead the league in turnovers the last 2 seasons. I wonder why. That screams pretender for me. So it doesn't matter if they're 6-2 or 6-3. These next 3 games are going to show everybody if the Cowboys are real or they're not, because they can easily be 6-5 coming out of the stretch, and they have the Giants on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be an easy game either
at all.
So, pretenders to me,
and
they're pretenders because they put themselves there.
I truly applaud you for being honest.
That's what I am.
Thank you.
I gotta listen. And now if they had Cooper Rush at quarterback.
See, that's why I can't stand Dallas. That's why I can't stand. You see the honesty that he just gave you? The minute the season is over, we got this next year. All right. The minute the season, they won't even give you a chance to breathe.
If we had Cooper Rush now, I'd be like, listen, Super Bowl all the way. Okay? I don't trust that. I don't trust them. And that's why we're the biggest frauds in the NFL right now. Now for our picks of the week, right? Go to our picks of the week. But before that, you gamble, right?
Yeah.
You gamble. Nicole, you're a loan shark. I know you don't gamble, but you take the money, right? You find people, you break knees. I understand that. Jimmy, you don't gamble.
Not sports.
He holds them down while she breaks her knees.
Exactly. Claude gambles. He does. He gambles a lot. He's actually in Gamblers Anonymous, aren't you?
It's anonymous, bro.
I shouldn't have said nothing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so, my bookie stuff. You ready? You guys ready? Mm-hmm. Sports betting is intense enough. You shouldn't need to sweat your payouts. MyBookie has a no-strings bonus and lets you cash in and cash out quick. Follow the link in the description of this video and use promo code EVEN on a deposit of $50 or more, and you can receive up to $200 in cash instantly to your MyBookie account. It's pretty good. Using this bonus is simple. You bet your deposit amount once and you're ready to cash out. No strings attached with MyBookie. Hammer this bonus on MyBookie so you can focus on what's important Thanksgiving week, people. Family, food, and securing that money bag. It's important.
I like that.
Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. So, picks of the week. Let's go get it. Claw, what is your pick of the week in regards to the NFL?
I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Why?
It's a statement game.
Okay.
I mean, I feel that they win this, and I feel like the Bills are on a little bit of a decline. They can go from zeros to heroes. And this is the week to do it.
So you got the Jets at Patriots, and you got the Jets busting up those Patriots.
We're going to catch the win. I'm going to say you busting them up.
Well, New England is minus 3.5 at home, so what do you think?
Bacardi
Take the points?
Cola, do it. Take the points.
You betting the money line Jets and you taking the points as well?
Taking it all. It's the week. Statement game.
What about you, Six?
I'm gonna go with an underdog, a horrible, morbid team that's going nowhere and has nothing to play for.
Uh-huh.
But those are the guys sometimes you got to watch out for.
Facts.
I think Washington had a great win against the Eagles.
Tyler Heineke.
And I think they won their Super Bowl last week.
Yeah.
So I definitely see them going into Houston, and they're supposed to win. But I can see Houston actually pulling one out. And
The 1-7-1 Houston Texans.
I mean, I don't think they finished the season, 1-16.
Right.
So I definitely think they could pull one out here against the Washington Redskins.
Okay, so that spread is they got Washington -3, so you got Texans money line, and you also taking the points?
Yeah, points and money. I like this.
Interesting. What about you, Al?
I was going to take Washington. I was going to go Washington. But my second pick, I'll probably say Detroit over New York.
Okay. Come on, give me some more. Give me some more.
Oh, nah, Detroit over New York. I think that running game is going to come in. I like Williams. And I think that Detroit has been able to sit there and fight through most of their games, even though they've lost most of their games.
And Jamie Lee Curtis hasn't played that bad either. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say Philly. After losing this week and
Jared
going
Goff
against
has
the
been balling.
Colts, I feel like Philly is gonna put
Well, I
the
mean,
boots to these niggas.
I don't want to go with the obvious.
Them
win.
and San Francisco, I really, really like San Francisco to kind of take off.
Right.
They've lost a couple games this season, and I feel like they're still going to end up with a great record. I feel they go 12-4, and right now they're 5-4, so I feel like this is the takeoff week.
So what do you think? You going money line, or you going money line, or the points?
I'm going money line. I'm not taking the points.
You ain't taking the points?
I'm not taking the points with Detroit.
Okay. My game of the week, y'all. I'ma tell you. Bengals and Steelers.
I was looking at
That was another one I was looking at.
I am taking the Steelers.
Really?
I'm taking the Steelers at home.
Oh,
Listen,
you don't like money?
Cincinnati is -4. I like it. It's going to be a close game. It's a division game. I think that this game is going to Pittsburgh. I'm taking the money line and I'm taking the points.
Wow.
Yep.
You got to back Tomlin, man. Like,
Listen, Tomlin ain't going down like that.
Division rival.
Tomlin knows how to coach in the division.
Higgins
It's going to be a tough game.
Chase ain't back. Chase ain't
back. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got Steelers.
You tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough game, but one of them last-minute field goals.
Facts.
Facts. Could definitely do it for real.
Yep.
I think.
But honestly, that can go horribly wrong for you too.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's kind of a 50-50.
Listen, I always pick the risky ones. But if you want to win some money,
hey, listen,
you put some big money on it. If you win,
This is
gonna look good.
This is really, really reminiscent of that Atlanta.
Oh, come on, man.
Of that Atlanta.
Pattis is back. All right, Pattis is back. That's what I'm saying.
That's what you said, and that's and you was wrong again.
I'm taking the Steelers. I don't care. All right, listen to me.
Don't.
And bet that at MyBookie. All right. After the break, y'all. Obviously, we're gonna talk some NBA. Some interesting stuff going on.
Hoops.
Yeah, some hoops. KD.
Just want to hoop.
I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah, man. Only KD I trust right now is KD3. That new Nas album is fire. Go check it out. My man is getting better with time.
Yo,
Aging like fine wine.
Fire,
bro.
It is.
21 Savage need to shut his mouth. Okay, that's all he need to shut his mouth. Yeah, you heard how he walked that back, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't mean. We know what you said.
We heard you.
You know what you said, fam.
Literally Clubhouse. We literally heard you.
He has changed the game, whether you like it or not. He's changed it. He's impacted the game in some fashion or form.
I'm gonna find a bar mitzvah for you to go to, and you gonna turn that motherfucker out.
Yeah, all the gals watching.
Crack him
if you got him. All the gals watching. Minus 6.
And I would like to formally welcome you to
Welcome
the grid.
to the grid.
To the grid.
To the grid.
Welcome to the grid.
And welcome to the grid.
Welcome to the grid.
Welcome back, y'all. I'm gonna have fun with this one. What's wrong with the Nets?
Everything.
What's wrong with the Nets, Claude?
I don't like them.
I mean, come on now. I know you're a Knicks fan, but
That's all that matters to me.
all that matters to you. Listen, they've been through a rough patch, to say the least. Okay, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, KD. But what I want to talk about first, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons did an interview. I don't know if it was had to be a few days ago, maybe a week ago, probably. Saying that how much he's struggled with, coming back, and how the Philly thing really messed him up and all that stuff. And it's just like, I don't know if I feel bad for him, but mental health it's an issue with him. I think he's struggling mentally with being a basketball player or being at the level that he needs to be at, as well as I think that mental problem that he's having. I don't want to say problem, but there's a challenge that he's dealing with right now. I think it's starting to manifest into the physical. A lot of times when you're not where you want to be mentally, things start to manifest. And I think that's what's going on with him. Like, he's not where he needs to be as an athlete, and his body is not catching up. Cuz Ben Simmons knows how to play ball.
They say he's nice in practice.
He knows how to defend at a high level. He knows how to pass. He understands and has basketball IQ, positioning. But when you see him moving on the court with the Nets, they don't have a defensive presence. The whole team is not playing any defense. He's not leading them in playing any defense. Now, granted, they played last night or the night before, and he had 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. And I think that was his best game of the season. But is that going to be an outlier, or are we going to see more struggles out of Ben Simmons?
Outlier, because the game before he had a wide open shot under the basket and he didn't even look.
Right.
And I think that's something that we've seen more and more. I think what he needs is, I don't want to just kick this kid out the league because it's going to be so hard to get back. But I don't think he can be or get back to what he was on the Brooklyn Nets. I think it's too big of a stage, too many cameras, too many questions. I think it might help him to go to NBA Siberia for a year or two.
I mean, NBA Siberia balling right now.
Just to get his game back.
Yeah, I mean that
help the reporters and the questions and the criticism don't help. And being in a place like the Nets, you're on a bigger stage. So,
especially with the players that you're playing with.
Exactly. So I don't know if this is the environment that is going to help him get back to being Ben.
I think he needs a situation kind of like what Wiggins had, because when Wiggins came out, he was top of the draft,
right?
And he had really high expectations, and it made things really difficult for him. And then moving to Golden State, he was able to flourish.
Find that because there was structure.
There was structure there, and then not only was there structure, but you had Curry, you had Clay,
There's no spotlight on
Draymond. There's no spotlight on me. I can just sit there and do the things that I'm good at. And then he was able to sit there and flourish and regain his form, and his light in that situation. So I think taking Simmons and putting him in Brooklyn wasn't going to sit there and do him any favors. And I think he's when Simmons came out, the expectations that were placed on him, because they were calling him like the next thing,
next Braun.
They were telling him that
next Magic,
be a number one scorer.
You know what I mean? So
going to Golden State was great for him. So do you think that going to Golden State would do the same for Ben Simmons?
I don't know if necessarily Golden State, but just a situation where like put him in Milwaukee.
No, because you say Golden State.
I think. Well, he was making the comparison for Andrew Wiggins.
No, I know, but I'm saying you don't think he can be their new
Draymond Green? Yeah, he could.
Yeah, I mean it could, but
who
a good idea.
But who taking Draymond?
Yeah,
ain't nobody taking that contract. Not even my Lakers, and we desperate. We'll take that contract. We want anybody.
Somebody will take that contract.
Yeah,
it's the NBA, baby.
We ain't taking him.
They already got Ross. They can't take on another bad contract.
But
facts.
But I think maybe Golden State. I was using them as an example, but when I really think about it, Golden State's not bad for Ben Simmons. But I just think in Brooklyn, and especially with everything going on in Brooklyn right now. I mean, you got the situation with Kyrie, you got the situation with KD, you got all this attention right now.
Right.
It ain't good for them.
Do I get I told you so when I said they should have moved KD in the summer when he wanted to be moved? You don't want to keep a disgruntled player because
I won't give you the I told you so because I feel your side. Nah,
since y'all speaking about it, let's segue into that. KD spoke about his trade request in the summer and went into detail. Said that he didn't like the way they were practicing. He went to Nash, and he was saying that he wants to be pushed and
no shoot arounds, more hard practices,
go harder and stuff like that. And listen, I commend him for that. There's nothing wrong with that. But asking that out of Steve Nash, you weren't getting that.
I don't know if I even necessarily believe that KD asked that, because KD ain't the vocal. He's not the vocal guy. He's the use my ghost account on Twitter to bring it up and talk about a guy.
That is true, but if he's gonna come out and say it, I think there's validity behind it.
Yeah, I think he brought it up. Maybe he didn't demand it.
Right.
He might have been like, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? He probably mentioned it, but it wasn't probably one of those things like, listen, this is what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I think if that would have been the case, I'm sure they would have made changes. But that wasn't the part that bothered me.
Because as a leader, you should say that, but as a leader, you should make sure that it happens. But go ahead. Yeah,
the part that bothered me is how you could be able to throw your teammates under the bus and say, "Yo, you got Royce O'Neal and this dude out here, and you got me out there. We expect to win." Like, how you expect to win? Like, for me, I always say that everything that you say has consequences, right? So if I say some wild shit right here, and I disrespect somebody in this room, in my head, before I say it, I'm already making up my mind to say, all right, cool, I gotta prepare to fight. Because there's certain things that you can say to people, and there's certain things you can't say to people, and there's certain things that when you say it,
you gotta be ready to fight.
You're gonna be ready to fight. And for me, KD don't look like somebody that can fight.
I'm gonna give you a little pushback on that one.
So okay, you don't look like somebody who can fight. So if it was me, if I'm gonna do like Royce O'Neal, if I'm gonna do like whatever Seth Curry and all these other dudes on the team, like the next time I see you, we scrapping. Cause you gonna look at me. I'm an NBA player. I may not be you, but I'm here for a reason.
I'm a man and I made it.
I'm a man. I made it. I'm making millions. I'm doing things for my family. That's the Russ line, right? I'm doing things for my family. You're not gonna disrespect me like that. So either we gonna figure it out on the court, or we gonna have to figure it out like right here in the locker room. Like you already know what the Queens thing is. Like let's talk around the corner, right? When somebody says that to you, you know what that means. You feel what I'm saying? We not speaking. So, how do you, as a player, as a leader, expect people to follow you when you say things like that? You can think it. You can't say it.
How wrong is he?
It's not about being wrong. It's about, like I said, you can think it. It's not right for me to tell you that. I can be on a team that I know is not talented. I'm not going to go to the media and say that. Because at the end of the day, I still need y'all to help me win. If I go to the media and I air y'all out like that and throw y'all under the bus, you don't have to play for me anymore.
How different is that from when LeBron came out when he was in Cleveland,
right,
and said, "My team is top heavy as
Miami."
No, he said that. He said that. No, he said
Cleveland.
that in Cleveland. He said that in Cleveland. That was the last year he said that in Cleveland.
Well, that's not the same because you're not saying that the team is top heavy means they're an offensive team and they're not scoring a lot. That's not necessarily
Top heavy can mean a lot.
Yeah, that's
of
not
things.
necessarily a bad thing.
But
that means
he
you don't have
didn't.
a defensive presence.
But he didn't mention names.
He ain't mentioned names.
First and last.
You understand what I'm saying?
If I'm your teammate, I'm gonna call you by your nickname.
Right.
If I'm saying your first and your last.
If I go on my podcast and say, yeah, you know, Al's been on my show a couple of times, but he been one of the worst guests I've. And
you'd be lying, but
instead of me saying, man, you know, I had some guests that it wasn't too great. There's a difference, right? I'm not gonna disrespect you like that.
You ain't yeah.
Because at that, if I say that and you come see me, I can't blame you for that. I gotta be ready for you.
It's different, bro.
I gotta be ready.
Families, they're gonna be playing the next 3 days on sports.
Bro, I gotta see you in practice.
Like,
I gotta see you in practice right after you have this interview.
My wife
I'm
got
swinging.
to me off the practice.
I think KD crossed the line.
Just finished talking shit about me on
When
TV.
does he never cross the line, fam?
We don't need a coach?
I think KD crossed the line when he brought up everybody's names and he talked about it. But
you can't do that to your teammates, bro.
you can't do that to your teammates.
Even Rodgers was anonymous.
Right.
Even Rodgers was like, some guys shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Like, you know what I'm
that
saying?
was wild, but he didn't say nobody.
And we all know that. When somebody says, hey, some people
Some of these guys shouldn't be here.
You know who you're talking about. But KD's naming names.
KD's naming names. What KD did was he came out, he said, yo, our starting lineup the other day was
Right.
He said, the reason they expect us to win is because Seven's out there.
Okay, then. That's disrespectful.
But you're a
It's
superstar.
disrespectful,
Because at the end of the day, you're not scoring 135 points yourself. You're not.
But is he wrong when he said? I mean,
He is wrong.
He's wrong, bro.
It's a team.
Yeah, you can't say that to your teammates.
You can't say
And
that
then
to
expect them to go into battle with you the next night.
Yeah, I'm like, no. You
can
got
say that shit on the way out. You got
You know what I'm
traded.
saying?
You leaving.
That's one of the situations where if a screen is coming, I'm not calling it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not calling it. So if you get knocked out, it don't matter to me. I'm not hedging on screens. I'm gonna make you get beat every time on a double, on a pin down. I don't care because you've disrespected me. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's certain things in basketball or in sports you just don't do.
You don't throw your teammates under the bus.
And the problem is that here's the problem with KD. He's never been in this position before. He doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't want to be in that position though.
He doesn't want to, but he is. But he doesn't know what to do. So he's thinking that he's doing something good, but he's never led. So he doesn't know that he's doing something bad.
But
You know
he's
what I'm
not a
saying?
leader. He said he's not a leader.
Right. But he can say this because he's never had any training.
And I don't think it's fair for him to keep walking around. I'm not a leader. Because like once you get to a certain
once you're the dude, you're looked at as the leader.
And you're also a veteran. You know more than
because my thing with KD, right? Is like there's a lot of times where he's full of crap. You don't think that you're not the leader. You just want to hoop, but yeah, you want to be put in the same category as LeBron James and MJ and Jordan.
Crazy.
How?
And then I'm sorry, but as a champion, I don't think you're supposed to say my legacy is the guys who helped in the league, who came in as rookies and they didn't know what to do, and now they've had great careers because of me. Like, as great as Jordan was, he's not going to say my greatest accomplishment in basketball was helping out Scottie Pippen get 6 rings.
His greatest accomplishment is winning 6 championships.
Back-to-back MVP, NBA Finals MVP, to be talking about other people's accomplishments as that's my legacy in basketball.
The dude, he's very.
I think KD is
guided
soft.
and mercurial. Yes.
I think KD is soft, and I think he's soft-natured. But at the end of the day, we knew that before he sat there and he did this piece.
At a certain point, it's not acceptable, bro.
Right.
You can't be in the job for 10 years talking about I don't have to tell you what to do. I can't tell you what things are.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, you got the guys who've been at the job for 10 years, and I know what they are. I know what to expect from you.
Nah, man, that's true.
I'm not gonna be mad at you for being you because I know who you are.
But at the end of the day, most of those guys aren't supervisors and CEOs.
Yeah. But he already said I don't want to be that guy.
But he is. But based on his skill and the amount of money that he's getting paid
and the level of
every job got that guy who's amazing at what they do. Don't need to be leading nobody. Every job got that guy who's in his role and in his space. He is the fucking man.
You should have never let him go to state.
He don't need it.
There you go. If you didn't want that responsibility, you should have never left Golden State.
If you really want to understand KD, I'll put it to you like this: how many people got KD in their top 10 all time?
A lot. They keep telling people he's the number 1 player for 6-7 years now. He never got the LeBron smoke. He never got the LeBron smoke.
People will say.
Nah, I know what Al's talking about.
People will say KD is the best player or the best skilled player right now, and that argument is valid right now. Mm-hmm. How many people will sit there and say in my top 10 players all time?
Right.
I never hear KD.
That's facts.
And that leadership and all those qualities that we're sitting there saying KD don't have, and that KD is saying he don't got, are the reason why he never ascends to that. He's never going to be mentioned with Magic. He's never going to be mentioned with Jordan. He's never going to be mentioned with Kobe or LeBron or none of them.
I can't dispute it, but it feels like a cop-out.
It
feels like the ultimate cop-out.
I get you.
I mean, I feel you on why it's a cop-out. I mean, I just don't expect...
Oh, my nigga, it's 5-on-5. One guy changes so much of the team aspect. To sit there and say, I just want to hoop at this level.
That's the problem that the Nets have.
Yeah.
Is when you have 2 mercurial guys on the team, 2 guys that have weird personalities, you're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, with Kyrie, it's totally different.
Those 2 guys, between the 2 of them, have arguably the most talent we've ever seen in the NBA. Period. We're talking about a guy who's 7 feet tall, who can shoot, who can do everything, right? We have a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", that has the greatest handle we've ever seen and is the best finisher at the rim for his size that we've ever seen, right?
But he likes to take a lot of PTO.
But what I'm saying is that just off talent alone, they're the greatest we've seen on the court.
Yeah. If we're talking about on the court, KD's not the problem.
But because of their personalities, he is the problem on the court.
On the court, KD's not the problem.
He is, bro.
KD ain't the problem. Kyrie is the problem because Kyrie found too many reasons to not be on the court.
But my thing with KD is that the reason why I say it's a problem is because
you gotta inspire your guys.
Right.
That's you can't expect KD to not be KD.
You're only going to go as far as that.
KD will never be like the problem everybody got
is that they will never win. Correct.
The problem is that everybody's expecting KD to be a leader. That's not him.
Right. So we need to stop expecting that they're going to win. He's gonna be a
but
dude
to
that
what
gets
level, Al? Because I understand you're saying he's not gonna be.
He's not gonna be what he's not.
James, but in a 5-on-5 game, like you got to be able to say, "Hey, get back on the block," or call a play. Like you got to be able to do something.
Everything basketball, KD does. I'll give him that. If you're talking basketball on the court, KD does
For
it.
the teammates or for the team? I'm not talking about shooting and score. I'm talking about just being able to say, "Hey, man, I need you to be here, right here. I need you to guard this guy. I need you to kind of step it up a little." Like,
no, KD's not that guy. KD's not that guy.
Then I don't want him on my team.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I'm gonna pay you that much money, I don't want you on my team. If I'm gonna pay somebody that much money, I need this from you. I need this from you.
I'll give KD that cash because KD is that good. When you put the ball in his hands, he's that good. I'm giving him that cash.
Outside of Golden State, what has KD done?
Exactly. KD was MVP.
I'm not
KD
talking about the individual
the
performances and the achievements. I'm talking about as a team. What has he done?
KD damn near beat Golden State. Brought them when he was with OKC.
That was Russ.
That was not. Get out of here.
Russ had a better series than KD did.
Get out of here.
If you go back and look at the numbers, that's exactly what it was. I'm telling you.
Russ can't do what Russ was doing without KD there. That's how come Russ was what Russ was when KD left. Both of them are not
leaders. That's why they are where they are. That's what I'm saying. Like, people need to stop looking at a basketball player or an athlete because of their talent. Yep. Their talent's supposed to bring them. It's more than that.
Talented in the league,
everybody's talented.
Everybody ain't KD.
But the problem is that he's great on the court. He's not a great leader, so they're never gonna win. He's gonna be top 10 in scoring. He's gonna have 7, 10 scoring titles and all this shit. He's gonna have 2 rings, and he wasn't even the guy on his own team.
With that type of talent, he had a guy that
he's Scottie Pippen.
With that kind of
that's
talent.
disrespectful at this
That's
point.
what he is.
That's disrespectful.
That's what he is.
Look,
bro.
You got me in a position where you
can't put him in the echelon of Magic. You can't put him in the echelon of Bird. You can't put him in the echelon with Kobe or LeBron.
I think he's saying because he told you from the jump, I'm not a leader. You can't expect nothing from him.
I'm not even saying
I'm paying you X amount of money for you to lead my team somewhere.
No, you're paying him to play ball.
No, you pay him to lead your team.
If you're paying KD to lead your team, then you're losing. You're lost from the jump.
Well, that's the problem. They expect him to do it. Everybody.
That's the problem. That's what I'm sitting there saying. Having the expectation that KD is going to lead your team is the problem.
Then why should any organization want him?
Because his basketball skill is that much better than everybody else's.
Al, that don't make sense. The goal is to win. So if I want to win and this guy doesn't bring that, I don't care how good you are.
Okay,
I don't want you.
$100 million, you have an NBA team, you can start tomorrow.
You gonna put KD on your team?
Yes.
So you don't care about winning championships?
You asked me if I'm putting KD on my team. You ain't asked me what I'm doing with everything else.
That was the first thing I asked you. I said it's about winning. If you just want to sell tickets, that's completely different. We're talking about winning a championship. Are you putting KD on your team?
I'm putting KD on my team because if you're looking for somebody who's going to push your team and make your players be better, I could put an 𝐦𝐤𝐤 on my team.
He's not going to do that.
Listen to what I'm saying.
The money that you're paying him, which means that you're not going to be able to funnel that money and fill out your roster with players that you need to win a championship, because the dollars that you're paying him, you're putting into somebody who needs to be a great all-star as well as a leader. This is why Chris Paul gets the money that he gets. It's not the fact that he's as good as LeBron James or as good as KD. He's a leader, and he can be able to lead your franchise where you need him to go. That's why they give him the money. His reputation speaks for itself.
Granted, yes, you're right.
So I don't care how good you are. If you can't get me to where I need to be, it means nothing. As an owner, if I just want to sell tickets, cool. If the Nets just want to be a ticket seller, fine. But if the Lakers ever made a decision to get KD, do you ever think that he would survive in LA? He
Do I
would
think-
not.
Hell no. Hell no. KD
He would not,
surviving
because
LA.
anything that he did prior to that,
He's not.
they don't care.
Anywhere you bring KD and you expect KD to be the leader,
that's the problem.
You're lost.
Well, that's the problem.
But why did Golden State win with KD?
Because he was somebody that was just he was a hired gun.
And not a lot of people.
There you
have
go.
that setup,
Right.
though.
But they
Not a
didn't
lot of
need
people
him
have
to win a
that setup.
championship. They wanted him.
They lost that year before?
Bro,
They lost in
they
the
lost in game
championship.
7.
In the championship.
Up 3-1. They won a championship the year before.
Yeah. They could have kept this thing rolling.
So they wanted him. They didn't need him.
They went and they got him.
Because they could.
Because remember, he
Why
left.
not?
They could. He wanted to go to the Warriors.
Why
He came
not?
knocking on their door.
No, they went knocking on his door.
Everyone's gonna check for KD. Everyone's
Right.
gonna check for KD.
Listen,
if KD's out there, you have to do your due diligence.
If I
came knocking
have
on their
a
door, bro.
structure, it's just like the Cowboys back in the day when they brought in Charles Haley, right? Mm-hmm. If you have a structure in place with leaders like Troy Aikman and Irving and everybody there, you can bring in a Haley. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to disrupt your locker room. You're going to be able to have the leaders in the locker room to be able to control that. He's a mercurial talent, right? Mm-hmm. Mercurial personality. You got Steph, you have Kerr, you got Draymond, you have Clay, you have Iguodala. All of these dudes to be able to keep him in check to say, yo, bro, all you got to do is play basketball. We'll speak the interviews. We'll take all the hits. We'll take all the criticism. You just play. That was the perfect environment for what you're talking about. But when a team says, we want you to be the guy, you can't have that. Winning doesn't follow.
I agree with you.
Winning doesn't follow.
I agree with you with that. You cannot have that with KD. But you can have KD on your team and still win. You just can't have that. The problem isn't
I want to win a
KD.
championship. I don't care about getting
I'm not
to
talking
the
about
playoffs.
season.
The problem's not KD. The problem's the expectation of KD.
If you're the number 1 or number 2 player in the world, I do believe in a game like basketball 5-on-5, the expectation should be pretty goddamn high.
His talent is that, but KD is not like KD got here last year. He ain't get here yesterday. You knew what he was.
But
so when you
he's
sign, hold on,
literally in his apex prime right now.
No,
Okay,
he's not in his apex prime. He's
what
in
Al
like
is
year
saying,
15 right now. You knew what he was when you brought him
What
in.
Al
here.
is saying is that Al is putting the blame on the teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get down with that.
I can't.
In my opinion, as far as KD, you knew what he was when you brought him in here.
Okay.
Like he's been here too long for you to be fooled.
At some point, you got to change, though.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to grow up. Yeah. At some point, you got to grow up.
Especially if you're playing with younger players. You got to be able to direct traffic a little.
At some point, you got to grow up.
You don't got to be a hard rock. We got to be able to direct traffic.
Joe Tsai knew what he signed.
Facts. After the break, we're going to talk about my boy Kyrie. Welcome back, y'all. So, we were talking about KD, and Al just jumped off the cliff with his defense.
He's somewhere down there on the
rocks. he hit one of the side planks of cartwheels.
I said the man is what he is.
Yeah. But we're gonna talk about the other guy, Kyrie. Reports are saying that it looks good for Kyrie to suit up on Sunday. It's not a sure thing yet. But I've said that I think the Nets went too far. The man apologized, and they're making him jump through hoops that are unnecessary. However, when you piss off the wrong people, there's ramifications, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where we are. It's not right. It don't make it right. But that's what happened. It's the fact that he didn't apologize when he was supposed to. So now they're going to make him suffer a bit. And the NBA PA, I believe, they're looking at this very closely. They're saying that if things don't get resolved soon, they're really going to have a tough conversation, because how long are you going to keep him out? And are we going to get the details of what he completed or not? Because at the end of the day, bro, he said sorry. If you're going to meet with a whole bunch of people and pay money here, what more you got to do? Let the man play.
I'm happy you came around. I think you were a little harsh on him when it first happened.
No.
It possibly should have been.
No, I'm not. Listen, like I said, my stance was I don't have a problem with what he said or what he did. It's free speech, right? Free speech is protected. However, just know whatever you say or whatever you do comes with consequence. So if you're okay with that consequence, stand on your square. But what happened with him is that he didn't do that. He didn't stand on his square. What he did was he posted this. He didn't want to apologize. They suspended him. Hours later, he apologizes. If he didn't want to apologize, you shouldn't apologize. Him apologizing allowed them to do this to him. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. So for me, he could have went the cap route. He could have been like, listen, I'm going to just stand in my square and that's it. You going to suspend me?
He trying to get paid.
No, I'm not trying to paint you in a negative light. I'm saying I'm happy you came around because your initial thing was, listen, you do this, you know how they feel, you're part of an organization, you got to get whatever comes to you. And that's just where I differed with you. Because I just felt like they were doing a little too much even from the jump. That we could disagree on that.
Yeah, the whole, like, once I saw the report about all the shit that he had to do,
crazy.
That's wild.
That was wild.
If you're going to suspend him, suspend him. That's fine. But this is crazy.
You got to pay $500 on your old money? Like, wow.
You got to pay $500. You got to walk my dog on the weekends. Hey, what we doing?
I think Kyrie could have really, really killed all of this noise in the beginning. Because all they was really looking for Kyrie to say was,
sorry.
not even anti-Semitism is bad. That's all he had to say.
I am not anti-Semitic.
I'm not anti-Semitic.
Like that, though. Don't stick a mic in my face and ask me if I'm homophobic, if I'm fucking anti-Semitic. Because it's like, I'm going to feel a type of way that you're even insinuating I am. If you wanted me to apologize for the video, say, hey, listen, you put a video that hurt people's feelings, apologize for it, I think he'd have been more receptive to the apology. It's the fact that you're accusing this man of being anti-Semitic and forcing him to say that he's not. That's the point that's an issue for me.
They said, are you anti-Semitic?
All they did was ask, bro.
They said, are you anti-Semitic?
Right.
He said, I can't be anti-Semitic because I...
But why do I have to answer to that? Why can't I say sorry for posting the video?
But Six, it's just a question.
He said, are you anti-Semitic? No, I'm not anti-Semitic.
And I don't have to say that.
No, you don't gotta say that.
You
don't gotta say that. But at the end of the day, it comes with what it comes with.
Right.
Like, yo,
that's what
you can't just throw mics in people's face and say, denounce this.
That's like, that's
as a professional.
And if you don't denounce this, you believe in every single thing that this.
And then you get
Steve Kerr.
So if I put up a Jeffrey Dahmer video, does that mean I'm supporting people being eaten alive and kidnapped? That's what that means.
Yes.
But if I sat there and I said, yo, Jeff, do you
support cannibalism? Get the out of my face.
Jeff, do you support? If you sit there,
it's a promotion.
No.
Oh, that's definitely a promotion, but that doesn't mean I believe everything in it. I can promote a zombie movie.
But they have the right to ask you. Because you put it on a public forum.
He should have apologized, saying, if the video hurts some people, I apologize. I probably should have not put it.
He's a difficult dude, bro.
He's a difficult dude.
That's the problem.
I'll put it to you like this.
Don't tell me, put a mic in my face. Are you anti-Semitic? Get the out of here.
But you're a professional. You need to know how to handle that.
It's not even that. I put it to you like this. If a white athlete came out and he put out some
if Luka Doncic put out Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, if Luka Doncic put out Birth of a Nation, no context. Nothing. And they said, yo, are you racist? They'd be like, I can't be racist because I know what I is. Like, come on, son.
Like Luka Doncic put out '𝐭𝐻𝐿𝐴. Put out, hey, what you doing?
He put out Birth of a Nation. He said, yo, I can't be racist. I know what I am. And push the mic away. Like, come on, son. Like, you're going to look at him like he's crazy. Like, my thing is this. You can't tell somebody you talking about how to be offended. Right. Like, if you sit there, if somebody talks about if somebody comes here and talks about black people in a way and I feel a way about it, like, yo, son, I feel a way about it.
But you can't just tell me I'm a racist. So every time
No,
the white
can't
coach
tell you
comes
I'm a
out and says
racist.
something crazy, there's always a black coach that come out. I know his heart. He's not racist. Oh, John Gruden said DeMaurice Smith had big monkey lips, but he's not racist. The other guy said the inmates can't run the asylum, but he's not racist.
We talking about
I post
something
a
different.
video and I'm anti-Semitic.
No, we talking
They
about
asked
something
a
different.
question.
We talking about something different because I agree with you on that. Because they always sit there and they look for the black man to come out there and save the white man that say some. They always look for that dude, and they always push us out in front to be able to sit there. You're right when you say that. But at the end of the day, the same way that I'm offended and I'm sitting there looking at, come on, what the you bringing this dude out here to sit there? No, I am offended. The same way I'm offended, you got to be able to give them the right to be able to be offended. Because at the same way, it's like somebody come out here and say, yo, black people are horrible at tipping.
But that's so specific.
Look.
If you put out the movie Waiting,
Look.
and then somebody's like, oh man, this guy thinks black people don't tip. That's like a reach,
If somebody come out here and say, yo, black people cheap as yo, they don't tip,
but
they
again,
don't
you're
dip.
specifically talking about a group of people. He ain't said shit. He put out a video. That's literally like me putting out Dahmer on my Netflix stories, and you're saying Jeffrey endorses cannibalism.
No, you put out Dahmer, and I come out there and I sit there and I say, yo, do you endorse cannibalism?
I feel that's an insult to my intelligence to even answer the question.
All I'm saying, Jeff, is that all they did was ask the question. What happened was he had a negative reaction to that question. The if you see the interview again, if you pay attention to it, the reporter was trying to give Kyrie a layup.
Yeah,
he was literally like, "Yo, bro, just if you just say
catch
this, you good. Like you don't. It's done here." You know what I'm saying? And he refused to do it. So for me,
it's a rough situation.
Yeah. All they was looking for Kyrie to sit there and say in the beginning was, anti-Semitism is bad. I'm not an anti-Semite. Feel however you want to feel.
Don't walk up to me and ask me if I'm a homophobe if I ain't said shit, fam.
Yeah,
like,
but yeah.
Even if I'm not, like, I'm going to feel a type of way. Like,
Yeah, but if you put up some straight homophobic shit. But if you posted some straight homophobic shit, and then I come up like, yo, you agree with that shit? They'd be like,
do you agree with that? Oh, no, I thought the movie was cool, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you a homophobe? Man, get the out of my face.
Yo,
get the out of my face.
Yo.
You're emotional. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're being mad emotional.
Emotional.
Like, yo, it's a legitimate question. Like,
I don't think it is, though. That's the whole thing. I don't think it is.
Nicole, what do you think?
This is the guy who posted the lizard people are real. This is the guy who posted the lizard people are real. The earth is flat. The Parkland shootings were fake. What did you think was coming down the pipeline next?
It's such a nuanced conversation.
I've walked down these roads. I've watched those Holocaust is a real videos. I don't post that shit. I don't even believe it. But after watching a million flat Earth videos and
first of all, I don't even think Kyrie watched that fucking video.
I'm just going down the pipeline.
First of all, I don't think Kyrie.
That shit was like I got 40 minutes into it. So boring.
I looked at that and I seen 3.5 hours and I said, nah, I'm good.
It was so bad.
I said 3.5 hours.
But that's why
and
I
I
think
gotta pay for
both
that
sides
shit.
are bugging out because the video was so ridiculous. I think the Jewish people who got upset are bringing light to something that would have gone away in a day or two.
I agree. I mean, listen. I think the society and the climate that we live in right now is that everything is so hyper focused and so hypersensitive that
everybody's super hypersensitive. But I really think.
But Kyrie was the one that.
I don't agree with a lot, but I do respect the Jewish people for wielding the power that they have. I think as black people, we have a lot of buying power. We never choose to wield it. We can't blame
Bingo.
them.
You can't be mad at them for
man,
saying
something atrocious happened to us in history, and any sign of that coming back, we're gonna stamp the out. I respect that.
You gotta respect that shit. We need to do that shit as well. We need to sit there and you gonna with us, we gonna sit there and take whatever power we got and we gonna with you.
I got way too much Jewish friends. I work for a Jewish establishment. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but at the end of the day, we're never gonna get anywhere in this country if we don't have some of these hard conversations.
Message. That's where we gonna leave it. That's where we gonna. That's where we gonna leave it. So go ahead.
But I mean, as far as the whole Kyrie situation, like they did go like. Outside of the whole message of that this whole Kyrie situation is J.'s ego versus Kyrie Irving's ego.
I agree.
That's the only thing this thing is.
I mean, it's an owner flexing his muscle and trying to see, how many hoops his athlete can jump through, and it's BS.
And then the second part I think about it is that if y'all believe Kyrie really did all this shit, y'all are bugging.
Right.
I really think that because if Kyrie did this entire list or whatever it is that 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐿 came out with, they'd have put that shit on full display.
Last segment of the show, the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week. I always ask the room, Jimmy, who you got this week?
We're with Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon. I need to hear this.
12th kid on the way.
Oh shit! Nah, man, he's repopulating.
Nah,
the world.
man,
exactly.
We need that.
He's saving the planet. Okay.
Elon, they're just like poking him out.
Absolutely. 𝐤𝐤, you got
Lou Ferrigno.
What did Lou Ferrigno do this week?
I watched the old movie and it just pissed me off.
Listen, the fact that Lou Ferrigno used to put on that green paint,
right,
and still look like Lou Ferrigno. Yo, you gotta respect that.
But the other thing was it's the little shoes they used to put on them. The shoes.
Listen, man, you gotta respect Lou Ferrigno, man. I'm not gonna let you soil and tarnish Lou Ferrigno's great name. Okay, Nicole, who you got?
Oh my God, she took it right off my mouth.
Is it the Twitter thing?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I got a piggyback. You paid $44 million
Billion.
to destroy this
Billion.
shit. With a B.
Yeah.
My man about to destroy this shit in 3 weeks flat. That shit's crazy.
Because it's fun to him. It's just a toy. Who you got, Six?
I got the that was my pick. Was
Elon?
My man took Twitter, a beautiful thing. People had voices all over the world. People got married. People had debates. It was media. It was personal. It was our own little hub on the internet where people could really just get together and discuss their thoughts. And I fear that in a month that shit's gonna be up in smoke. So wow. I got it. And you paid $44 billion
for nothing.
For nothing. So
who you got, Al?
They stole all my picks.
It was either Elon or Nick Cannon for you?
No, I mean Nick Cannon. I love Nick Cannon. I can't say nothing disparaging about Nick Cannon. Nets ownership for thinking something different. KD.
Shit.
That's where I'm gonna go.
That's a good one.
It's fair.
That's a fair one.
That's fair. I like that one. That's thinking out of the box, Al. I like that.
I'll try.
You know, all your answers are great, but I'm sorry, none of those are the winner. None of them. They're good. None of them are the winner. May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week, the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders are my Dummy of the Week. Dummy, yeah. Now, for those who don't know, Las Vegas Raiders are a dumpster fire right now. Team's bad. Derek Carr crying because he want to beat up somebody and he can't. Right? Ticket sales are in the toilet. Stadium's nice. Right? All this stuff is good. They fired John Gruden. So they still paying him $100 million.
Oh my
right?
God.
All of these things are going on. They paid what's his name? Adams all this money, right? Devontae Adams got all this money. Team offensively looks good. And the coach is shit, right? The coach is terrible. Josh McDaniels is bad. Now, they're so bad at this point that the Raiders can't fire him. You know why they can't fire him? Because they got no money. They have no money to actually fire him. Why? Because they're still paying John Gruden all this money. They lost a ton of money in the pandemic when they had to open up a stadium. And they literally cannot afford to fire Josh McDaniels. You cannot make this up. This is an NFL team. These teams are worth billions of dollars. This is an owner that cannot fire his coach because he's broke.
Poverty is real.
Yo, make it make sense.
It's bad, man.
Al Davis is rolling in his grave right now. You take my team to Vegas and you ain't got no money?
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
I mean, it makes sense.
They
you go to Vegas and you go broke.
The stadium was appraised for $1.4 million, but at the end they ended up spending billion, and at the end they ended up spending 2.6, and he never had the money to.
That's double the money.
Couldn't sign Khalil Mack.
Had to let him go.
Had to let him go, and then now
the Bears.
And then now they have a coach that they can't let go because they're so in the hole. That's crazy.
Claw, they broke.
That's Brad.
Yo, you imagine? Could you imagine having to look at somebody every day and know it's like, if I had the money, I would get rid of you. But I ain't got no bread, so you gotta stay here. What?
Wow.
We talking about a professional team here.
That's sad. I'm not gonna lie.
This is not a semi-pro team that they got a bad budget.
It's a Jackie Moon team.
Right. This is not the tropics. What are we doing here?
That sound like a guy that ain't got no prenup.
Yo.
It's nuts, man.
This is the biggest disaster in football, in sports right now. We look at Dan Snyder as a dumpster fire. Mr. Davis.
I like him.
Mr. Davis is the dumpster fire. Especially with that toupee that he got on. He need to give it up. I don't know what that is on his head.
Bro, that's what he can afford.
Right. That's where the money's going. That's why he can't. That's why he can't fire Josh McDaniels.
He about to go to what they gonna do? What they gonna do? Dubai or
he need to go to Turkey. Word. Call '𝐚𝐽 and fix that.
No, don't call �80 because whoever his doctor was not it. Don't call.
Listen, man, �80 gotta go back in. He gotta fix those corners.
Jimmy Butler's guy.
Facts.
There you go.
Facts. Holla at Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler out here looking luxurious.
Yo, but listen, man, I feel bad for Derek Carr. I feel bad for the Vegas Raider fans that you have to deal with this. The fact that your team is broke and you have an idiot coach that can't get fired. That is like purgatory. I think that's hell. Is that not hell?
So who gets the dummy? Mark or the whole organization?
The entire organization. The entire organization. Top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom. Right?
The custodians too.
Whoever approved that 1.4 and then it turned into 2.6. How does that make sense? Oh, wait a second. You approved for 1.4. How you spend double that? I don't understand that.
Nuts, bro. Nuts.
All right, sir. Listen. We have these suites that we want to put in here, Mr. Davis.
Mm-hmm.
We have these luxury suites here. Now they're going to cost about $750,000. No. I want 5 of those, Mr. Davis. Just realize that the budget is $1.4 billion. No. It's fine. It's fine. He must have been an idiot at math. I think his father must have handled all the tough stuff.
He was homeschooled.
And he was just one of those kids that just licked lollipops all day long and rode his bike around the corner. Cause like,
make it make sense.
Make it make sense. The math don't add up, bro. It don't add up.
You gotta see we got this new turf.
Right.
That you're gonna need.
Mr. Davis, I don't think that we can put in this high profile turf here. We need to go. No. I want the best. How much does the turf cost? It costs about $700.
Spend what it costs.
Whatever. Looked at the bill and like, this don't look like 1.4. Yeah. No shit.
No shit, Sherlock.
So, Mr. Davis and the Raiders organization, you guys ain't winning. Y'all are big losers right now. Y'all ain't never gonna win probably the next decade. But you're winners today for them in the week. That's all for this show. I appreciate you guys for coming through. We had a long conversation today. Al wanted to talk about KD and try to save his career and all this nonsense, right? I appreciate you coming through. All right,
Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome. Six, you know what the situation is, man. You always pull up, and as long as you, I'm gonna have to get you to side with this Dak thing. If you don't side with it,
I'm slowly getting there.
You need to get there now.
Slowly getting there.
You need to get there now, okay? Because the last time you should have been here that day. That him and my man Bishop ganged up on me for 20+ minutes talking about Dak.
Talk about the positivity of Dak Prescott.
Crazy.
You should have called me. I'd have dunked on them Cowboys so fast.
So listen. Super intern, Jimmy, I appreciate you. Nicole on the ones and twos, a silent assassin. Mr. PTO upstairs. Clary. Clary's the man. I appreciate you. All right. Until next week, stay safe. Stay cool. Peace.
My son is the champ. So, get over it.